I don't know who needs to hear this, but some people just love chaos. You can't help them. Some people just love problems. It doesn't matter how much you show that you care. It doesn't matter how many gifts you got them. It doesn't matter what you do for them. It doesn't matter if you go above and beyond. Some people you just can't help. They love chaos. They thrive off of issues. Okay? You're over here killing yourself. You're like, damn, like I'm doing everything for this person. I'm busting my ass. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And they are just never satisfied. Listen, you can't help them. The only way they thrive is when there's issues. Only way they thrive is when there's problems. So today I'm going to give y'all 5 signs, right? Especially if you're dating somebody or you are already in a relationship. If that person exhibit those behaviors, just know that you're dealing with somebody who loves chaos and it's time for you to bounce. So let's get into it. Number 1, indecisiveness. If you're dealing with a person who can never make their mind up, right? 1 minute they want to be with you. The next minute they want to break up with you. 1 minute they love you. The next minute they hate you. Listen, that's a person you got to get rid of because you are always going to be on eggshells. I can't imagine living my life not knowing where this person stands. Like, I'm always going to be on edge. I'm always going to feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I'm not trying to do that. If you have somebody in your life who's always indecisive about their feelings towards you, you got to bounce. You got to leave. Because that's a person that's always going to bring you stress. I'm not dealing with that. You feel me? Every time I see you, I don't know what version of you I'm going to get. Nobody's trying to live like that. So if you're dealing with somebody like that, you got to go. You got to leave them. Number 3, they self-sabotage. Man, I've been through that, right? Where you're dealing with a person, everything is going great. You're doing right by them. They're doing right by you. And all of a sudden, you get hit with listen, you're a good person, but I don't think this is going to work, right? Some people, I'm telling you right now, some people, if they don't feel like they got to fight for something, it's unfortunate. But if they don't feel like they got to fight for something, they don't want it, right? When things are easy, they don't want it. Some people just love hard love. They just love that rough, I got to fight for this person, I got to battle for this. Nah, some people, they just, unless it's toxic, unless they feel like they're overthinking or they're stressed out, they don't want it. You feel me? If they don't feel like they're unease when they're around the person, they don't want it. So you got to be able to identify those persons and be like, nah, like if I'm doing right by you and you still can't see my value and you still can't see my worth and you want to self-sabotage us, you got to go. And you was not the person for me. So you got to keep it pushing. Number 4, constantly bring up the past. Man, I can't stand somebody who you've had a conversation with about an issue and y'all both drop the situation, right? And weeks later or days later, they bring it back. Especially when they're trying to weaponize that situation that happened against you. So let's say they do something to you, right? And you react. You're like, yo, why did you do that? And then they hit you with well, remember when you did this? Somebody like that, you have to let them go. Right? You're never going to have peace in your life, right? Because they're always going to hold that thing over your head all the time. And at time, you're going to feel like you can't say nothing because they're always going to remind you, oh, remember when you did this? Remember you do that? That's not the life you want to live. You want to be able to be with someone who knows how to communicate, who knows when they say, you know what, I forgive you, and they actually drop the situation. You don't want to be with somebody who constantly remind you, oh, this is what you did to me, this is what you did to hurt me. Nah, that's not the way to live. A person like that is always going to love chaos because they keep bringing up chaos. And that's not something you want to deal with, I promise you. So if you meet somebody like that who's always reminding you about the effed up things that happened before in the past, I would suggest leaving. Don't tolerate that. And number 5, they always start a problem over any little thing, right? So for instance, they text you. You don't respond to them in 3 minutes, it's a problem. Oh, I texted you. Why didn't you reply? Can I get to my phone first? I was busy with work. Or they call you and you just happen to miss the call. Or why didn't you text me back? You must have been with somebody else. Like, what? What? And this is what I'm saying. Like, some of y'all gotta focus on finding people who are at peace with themselves, who's not gonna bring you these stress, who's not gonna bring you these chaos, who's not gonna cause problems over every little thing. And people like that tend to suck at problem solving skills, right? So they never want to fix the issue. Instead of understanding, you know what? It's me and you against the problem. It's not me against you. They don't think like that. What they think is, I am the problem. I am the chaos. So therefore, I'm going to continue being the chaos, because that's how they thrive. Y'all got to understand. Some people really can't function unless there's an issue involved. You know, if you're dealing with somebody who's used to constant, back and forth, who's used to not having a healthy relationship, or who's not used to a healthy balance, you're going to have a hard time with that person. People like that I avoid. I don't care how fine she is. People like that I avoid. So you got to be able to find somebody who matches your level, who understands you, who can read you. Don't deal with nobody who's going to bring you chaos. I'm telling you, sometimes you could give them the world. It doesn't matter. If there's no chaos involved, you're not going to be happy. And that goes for both genders, men and women. You feel me? So keep that in mind. Some people just love chaos and you can't help them. The only way you're going to be able to help them is for you to leave them. Plain and simple. Anyways, that's all I got for you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and comment. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.